Okay, so before we go into lead generation, how to be the best lead generator in the world, I want to just cover one quick thing before we break to the second half. There are two problems, and the most important thing is to identify what problem you have. Okay, when I say two problems, it's either lead generation or lead conversion. So the question that you need to ask yourself, and you all will know this answer, right? I've asked you, many of you, this question. Do we have enough leads to hit our year-end closing goal? Yes or no? If it's yes, like some of you who have 27,000 people in the database, okay. So you have a lead conversion problem. So what we're saying with the touch plans and the consistency and where to find the lowest hanging fruit in your database, that's the problem that we need to solve. Okay. Now, lead generation problem. If you do not have enough leads in your database to hit your year-end closing goal, then that means that you have a lead generation problem. Now, in a shifted market, we know that we need to be prospecting based, marketing enhanced, right? So that's where some of these methods around mailing, circle calling, expireds, for sale by owners, those lower hanging fruit items come in. Because if you have a healthy mixture of that, you won't have a lead problem, if that makes sense, right? With, oh my gosh, I'm talking to people and no one's motivated. No one's ready. The market's weird. It's everyone's saying it's an election year. Right? No, it's not. You're just talking to the wrong people, right? We got to find the motivated. They are out there. Just go to your MLS and see on the hot sheet how many people bought in the last 7 days. And there's your reality check, right? 156 people bought last week, right? But they didn't buy with you. What's preventing them from buying with you? It's not you, because y'all are badass realtors, right? You're the best in the business. You're the best in your market. It's messaging.
I love that.
It's messaging. So on database, we see, Ash and I had a conversation, we see from your Met database about 6% conversion. The goal is 10% from the MREA, right? The reality is that we're seeing a 6%, right? Because of inflation, because of interest rates, because election, because of all the things that we know, right? So we're seeing a 6%. Haven't mets, meaning strangers. Like the best way for me to describe this is if I didn't know you and we were at the grocery store and we're in the chip aisle, we would not acknowledge each other. Okay. That's a haven't met. I would not be like, oh, they look familiar, right? Okay. So those people are converting about a 1 to 1.5%. Now the goal MREA is 2%. We're seeing 1 to 1.5% again, just with market conditions. Okay. So it's definitely a numbers game. So if you go, well, I have a lot of people, I don't know if I have enough people to hit my closing goal. That's your math. How many Mets do you have? How many haven't Mets do you have? Right? And then do the math of 6% and 2%, and then you'll know which problem that you're solving. Is that helpful?
And can I clarify one thing on that too? So, and just clarify for me, Emily. So on the 1 to 1.5% on the haven't met, that's your PPC leads, right? Like your Google
Yes.
PPC.
Yep.
So, and I think that so many of us get hung up on like the internet leads are coming in and they're so great. That's a 1 to 2% chance that you're going to get that converted. Whereas instead of calling your past clients, we focus so heavily on the new, the shiny object, the new people in our database. What we should be focused on is the nurtures that you guys have had, the PPC leads that have spoken with you before. Call them back and see what problems you can solve, because they're more likely to convert because you've had a conversation with them. The new business is still great to have, but you've got to find that balance. You can't focus just heavily on that and say that that's the business. The real business is in the older stuff that you guys have had for years and years and years.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, Ashton, how do I be the best lead generator in the world?